So let's land here, allowing our bodies to receive their weight, settling slowly, like a leaf falling down through water, and then finding earth, and resting into earth. Maybe as we're arriving together, taking a few breaths, receiving a few breaths. And soften, settle, melt with each exhale. And just as we continue to arrive in this moment, in this space together here, allow your body to rest in a way that helps it feel as supported and as comfortable as possible. I'll do some talking and then we'll practice, but let this all be a practice. Let yourself find comfort wherever possible. And I've just been feeling into what an act of generosity and care this is for you to show up, to give your time to yourself, to receiving, to calling into presence. So I thank you for your practice and for your openness to receive what's here together. And I know, I really, really know what it can take to just get here. And so this is for you. Maybe you can receive 1% of what's here today, maybe 100. Wherever you are is just right. And I want to remind every single one of us that we cannot practice perfectly. I promise. I have tried. Showing up is more than enough. And let yourself be messy. And let yourself not know. Let yourself love it or hate it. Check in, check out. Maybe there will just be one moment where things feel a bit more still or soothed or more quiet. And maybe there's even a sense of stillness that lives here right now. And that's always calling for us to return home. And just whispering our names. And this is a practice of coming home, of returning home, remembering who we are. The essence of our very being. And it is a lifelong practice. And eventually, if it doesn't already, these practices and ways of being will pull us towards them effortlessly. And there will be more of a need for peace than for all of the noise and busyness. And these practices teach us to listen and to live differently, to meet ourselves and others with our whole bodies and beings, being with what's here, with more gentleness, curiosity, and warmth. And if you're someone who's used to living outside of your body, just listen from there. And there's nothing you have to do here. And you're more than enough just as you are. And there's so much time and space for you and all that you carry. Let's just resource for a moment. That supportive, comforted, soothing experience that's available right here and right now in the present moment. Yesterday, we resourced by orienting to our spaces and orienting to our breath and our bodies. Today, let's just take a few elongated exhales. Not too much effort here at all. No, it doesn't matter right now if you breathe through your nose or mouth. Just allow your exhale to be a little bit longer than your inhale. And we'll take a moment to let a few of these breaths move through. If your body wants to move as you're doing this, if sounds or sighs come through, wonderful. That's welcome. And then allow your breath to breathe naturally once again. If ever you become overwhelmed in life or in these practices, you might connect with that elongated exhale for a few breaths, probably no more than 5, and just see if it's supportive. Our bodies carry depths of wisdom. Though for some of us, we have been cut off from living fully and connected in our felt sense. Our belonging at home here in our bodies may have been severed, as it has been for so many folks who've experienced trauma or overwhelm. We had to go to our heads to survive, or even further from ourselves. And so we go slowly. And we go together as we build new relationships with our experiences of living in or towards our bodies, so that we can truly claim our aliveness, our self-trust, and our empowerment with every cell of our being. So as we expand our capacity to welcome it all, and we see that our bodies, our hearts, and our minds' responses have been so deeply wise and caring, despite how chaotic or strange they may seem, despite how many people have tried to convince us that they were wrong. And we honor the wisdom of the parts of us that have been trying to offer us care, protection, and refuge. And we stop making ourselves the problem. And we know that something makes sense about it all. We are not things to be changed, to be fixed, figured out. We are already whole. And from this compassionate view, more spaciousness arrives at the doorsteps of the walls we've built. And the higher the walls, the more sensitive and precious are our tender hearts. It just makes sense. So we can become the space as wide as the sea together. And today we'll have a practice that I like to call the peaceful place. And you can put your own name to it. And if you haven't already settled in, let's take some breaths as you find comfort in a posture. You can be sitting, standing, lying. Often in these first few days of practice, when we practice intensively, it all shows up. And the first few days can sometimes feel a little more challenging as we're becoming more awake together to what's here. And so we'll just sit right down together with what's here. And breathing in. I'm aware that I'm breathing in. And breathing out. I'm aware that I'm breathing out. Following these breaths like waves in the sea. And today we can take refuge in the creativity of our minds or what's right here and right now. And let's get a sense together of a peaceful place. You can imagine it and completely create it. It might be somewhere you have been or somewhere you are in this moment. You can even see if it's possible to just receive it. It can show up and show you. And just as we do with every other practice, we welcome every part of us that shows up. And sometimes it can feel hard to even imagine a peaceful place. And a trick I like to use is, if I could imagine, what might I see or what might I get a sense of? And as that peaceful place arrives, and just take it in. Notice what you see if you're a visual person. Notice what you hear. Notice what you touch or feel. You might even taste or smell things here that let you know it's a peaceful place. And sometimes when we welcome this peaceful place, everything but peace shows up. And we can welcome that too with as much warmth as we can. And if you can't find any warmth inside today, you can borrow mine. Notice if this peaceful place feels best with just you in it. Or maybe there are beings, pets, teachers, kids, ancestors, guardians, friends, family, mentors. This is your place, so you get to invite in or keep out anyone you like. Resting in this peaceful place as though it's right here and right now. Continuing to get a sense of it. And experiencing all the things that let you know that this peace is here and available to you in this moment. And become aware of the parts of you or the experience in your body that can take up the nourishment from this peace, even if it's just a tiny bit. It can be so easy to follow the parts that have a hard time letting it in. So we can make sure that we can include everything. And then you can allow the peaceful place to go just into the background. You can let it rest somewhere sacred in your body that you can return to anytime. And then we'll do what we did yesterday and support your adrenals to even further help anchor any experience of nourishment, peace, or spaciousness. And so we can bring our intention to your right adrenal. And it's right there in the mid to lower back. And we can just get a sense of it with our healing intention. We don't have to get the perfect right spot. And just supporting your right adrenal. And whatever comes up, comes up. It's all welcome. And as we allow your adrenal to rest into support, and we open to all of the possibilities of healing. And then we can float away from your right adrenal and gently over to your left adrenal. Resting our intention here on this left side. And this adrenal is shaped like a half moon sitting on top of the kidney here. Yeah, supporting your left adrenal. And welcoming every part. And then we'll rest together in a healing silence for a minute here. Nothing to do, nowhere to go, no one to be. And take your time. And you might notice anything that feels soothed or settled, supported. And you can drift into rest. And you can come on out into the day. And you can call on this peaceful place and allow it to remind your body of what's possible as it's learning to return home to itself. And thank you so much for allowing me to walk this path with you today. And thank you for giving your precious self this precious time. And have a beautiful rest of your day.